Check 1, 2. Can you guys hear me there? All right. Hope you guys can hear me. Hi, this is Dan with Avantnovis with Maps. Would also like to thank our newest member, Ralph, on our Patreon for joining and helping us support this stream. Also, would like to thank Ryan, Disney Disrespect, Nomad of the Plains, Puppet Master, Northern. Nice to you in chat, Northern. Density, Aaron, Who, and everyone else for their support. Also for my dear wife who puts up with me. Just like to give her a big thank you and a thank you for her support. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. Patreon has voted and I will obey. We're going to take the maps here and we're going to make them into a realistic map. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Now, a couple challenges with us doing that. In order to make a realistic map, we have to kind of cut down on some of the details here. So let's go ahead and have a look here. I've kind of gone ahead. ArtRage, yep, we are doing this in ArtRage, and well, WonderDraft and then ArtRage. So in these maps, I've gone ahead and I've kind of cheated a little bit to make sure that this doesn't go for hours and hours. I've actually mostly done these steps, but let me show you the steps I do to get this into ArtRage. First of all, with a map like this is our beautiful little jungle map. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the symbols. I'm sorry, guys. So we just select all the symbols, hit delete, wait for a while so it kind of matches up. Now we definitely don't want to save any of this. We'll delete the symbols and then we'll change some of the landscapes and stuff like that. This is just going to take a little bit of time to do since we have so many thousands and thousands of symbols here. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Awkward. Come on. Well, that didn't work. Maybe we'll have to do this one at a time. Yeah, we're going to have to do this in bites. So, first of all, get rid of your symbols. We already have the map. It is a PNG, so we can kind of come in and use it as a reference. All these guys here. Then we get kind of a nice undertone of what we've done. Now, the reason we're getting rid of all the symbols is because the lakes are really what matters the most here. We have to go in and we have to do these lakes and these rivers and stuff like that once these symbols disappear. Come on. I believe in you. Yes, I don't believe in you. Oh, it failed me. Let's go ahead and get rid of all these guys. Okay, so we clear out the symbols. Yeah, I know it does, doesn't it? It looks really weird without any of the symbols. Okay, let's go to paths. Let's get rid of all these paths here. Kind of stripped down to its nothings. And then we are going to get rid of all the labels here. Okay, now, really important, save your work first before you do any of this stuff. Let's do symbols again. I see a couple symbols up here that we don't want. And some symbols up there. Okay, now we're stripped down to the bare minimum. Now, theme, here's the important part. We're going to go change the theme to black and white. Okay, this is going to give us a nice distinction between the river, between like the oceans and the land. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into our land function. And we are going to knock the coastal FX distance, the land outlet landmass outline blend, and the vigilant, we're going to call it vigilante strength. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn the coastline color, landmass color down to almost nothing. So it looks like this. Kind of looks a little weird. That's okay. And once we're done with that, you're on vacation right now. Well, Northern, thank you for taking the time to be here for vacation. Really appreciate that. That is very awesome of you. Okay. In nice house. Nice. Okay. We will, in a nice house. You staying in somewhere really classy? Very cool. Okay, I know I love doing that. Uh, so once we get this, we're going to export it and we're going to go to Photoshop. We're going to stitch it all together. So this is what it looks like kind of all stitched together. Okay, and the reason we're doing this is we are going to separate the landmass from the ocean. You sold my soul to the devil to never miss a stream. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. But thank you for being here. I do really appreciate it. Once we get these maps stitched together, let's go ahead and merge all of them. We right click, merge layers. Hey, it's going to merge. And then we are going to get our little eraser brush here. And because the black and white has such a sharp contrast, the sea, we can make this into, see that? And we have all our rivers and we have all our details left over. Now I also went ahead and previously saved, and this is all the symbols that I saved over it, because we're going to need those symbols on the new map in ArtRage to get that done. So again, you go in, clear out the gray. Do you live by the ocean there, Northern? Wait, are you near the hurricanes and stuff like that? I really hope you're okay. If you are, that's scary. Oh, I'm glad you're having a good vacation. I hope you're okay though. That's really scary. Scary pancakes, as I say. I have no idea if I say that. Okay, so let's go ahead. Once we've got this done, let's go ahead and open up ArtRage. We're going to open up ArtRage Vita, or whatever it is. And we are going to import this file. Go ahead and already saved it. So we should have two layers here. We should have a top layer and a bottom layer. Now this is a little bit of experience. Harmless rain. Okay. As long as you're safe. Man, that kind of actually even choked me up because I consider you a good friend. So glad you're okay. So we're here. And let's go ahead and let's reset everything. First thing we're going to need to do once we're in ArtRage, we're going to right click on the canvas, go to canvas settings. Make sure that the canvas setting opacity is down to 0. Otherwise we get that. We don't want that. We want that at 0. Let's zoom in. Yep. Everything looks nice and transparent. We are good to go there. And we have an overlay of where our other symbols are as such, so we can know where stuff goes. Where are you at? Where are you vacationing at, Northern, if I don't mind asking? Okay, once we're done here, to start off with ArtRage, what it does is, if you're not familiar with it, ArtRage not only keeps track of the pixels, let's say this is the page itself. Oops, not Windows. Bad Windows. Okay, let's say this is the page itself. And most programs, you draw something, let's say you draw a map and stuff. It keeps track of where the pixels are and like the symbols and stuff. Now, ArtRage does something a little different. This is why I like it is if we're looking directly at the image, family reunion kind of thing. Well, I hope that's Northern Ohio. I hope you guys are having fun though. ArtRage actually keeps track of how much mass is on the page. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to fill this with paint and stuff, and then we're actually going to shape mountains, and we're actually going to shape valleys and stuff like that. That's why I'm such a big fan of ArtRage. So to do that, let's go ahead and this layer, let's go ahead and lock the layer transparency. Come over here to the big thing of the big tube, put that up to 800, as big as that will go. And we also are going to need to figure out this canvas setting, canvas color. Change the canvas color to kind of a deep green. Well, let's go with a grayish green. That's a good green. I'll show you why we did that. Just remember that we did that. Okay, we'll close canvas settings now. Let's go ahead back to our big tube. Let's presets, hard squeeze. And then all we have to do is come and look at our map here. And we are going to place, just drag all this mass into where our mountains are. And it's okay if you get it wrong. That's very, very fine. But we are just going to drag all this massive color, massive tube, right to where our mountains are. As such. And we're going to pick up the pace a little bit, so hold on tight. We have mountains over here. We're just going to bust this out as quick as we can. We're just putting a heavy, really heavy amount of tubage. This is an oil paint we're using currently. We want to make sure we get everything. Now, if we don't follow the mountains exactly, that's fine. That's okay. We'll be doing another step here to kind of help with that. All right. So let's get our islands and stuff like that. Let's get these mountains here. And again, I'm just really rushing here. Really moving fast. Getting these mountains on. Martin, hi. How you doing? 88 miles fast. Yeah, let's not light my... I'm going fast, but not that fast. Well, maybe. You know what? I wonder how fast a pen moves on a stylus. That is a really good question. I don't know. So a really quick burst of speed all over this. We're just adding a ton of mass to this. Again, when I can, I'll just pull these to the mountains as such. Very fast. 88 miles. No, we're going to 87 miles an hour on this because I don't want to go back to the future. Undones are bad. Doing fine. Tune in to see some magic on canvas. Normally I watch the VODs. Well, you know what, Martin? Thank you so much for being here. We are making a realistic map out of the big campaign map that we've been doing. You can find all the maps we've done at Avantnovis.com. There's no ads or any crap like that. There's only ad for Patreon. But you can actually just right-click on them, download the previous map we did. It's really good. I really like that map. Now I'm noticing some areas here that I hadn't gone over. All right, let's come over here. Same thing. We're just adding a ton of mass to this painting. Just as much as we can. Using tube brush, just going a little bit nuts. We want to get this done in about an hour. With ArtRage you can. Simple technique. ArtRage kind of has some teeth in it. Takes some practices, but I absolutely love the effect that ArtRage gives us. It already looks pretty realistic. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there, but it'll be better. Northern, have you ever seen me do one of my realistics? I know you're on Patreon and you've seen, so hopefully you've downloaded all the maps I have on DriveThruRPG. This one won't be on, since we made it as a community, this one won't be on DriveThruRPG. It will be on Patreon. Because I felt that that'd be scummy for me to do. Martin, I have some Korean watching reviews have a dice, so I made a map and get past the writer's block. I can make an actual story behind it. Oh, that's awesome. Martin, I'm so glad. You should share that map. Thank you for being here and watching the videos. That makes me really happy. Okay, let's have a look at what we've done so far. Okay, not too bad. Let's go up to this layer that we've done. See? We'll activate this. Now, something to keep in mind here, the image size. Image size is 225 inches by 150 inches. Massive resolution, so things might be a little slow. Let's take this down to about 25%. This layer, yep, see, and we can see where our mountains are now. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take the same. We're going to go into our brushes. We're going to go into our presets. We're going to go into this one. It's called Harsh Chaos. We're going to bump that up to about 500%. Let's go ahead and hide that. I've had to upload it. It's not I'd have to upload it. It's not finished. There aren't any cities yet, and some details need to be done. But hang on, I'll upload it and link it. Martin, do you have our Discord? We do have a Discord on the channel. Let me pull that up and get an invite for you. Makes it a lot easier. If you haven't got Discord, that's fine too. Okay. There's the Discord to anybody that wants to upload the maps for the community and stuff like that. Okay, so we're back here, and we are going to take our Harsh Chaos brush, and we are going to very gently, and I mean very gently, with circles. See these little circles I'm doing? I'm going zhoot, 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 making that sound too. Zhoot, zhoot, zhoot. I'm going over where we put these. Now, you notice that little lighter green that's showing up? That's from the canvas setting. So if I'm like taking away paint and moving it from the middle, you're going to get that green, and we want that. We want that to be able to blend. So let's go ahead and keep on doing this. Again, this is a really fast and dirty approach. Hi, Morris. How are you doing? Ronnie the Zombie, hi, welcome. Welcome to the stream. We are making a realistic map out of our big community map. And Ryan, hello. Good to have you here, Ryan. So right now we've done this gigantic layer of paint, and we're just kind of smoothing it down a little, not too much. And then we're going to get some more globs of paint, and we're going to put it on this map. And if I miss places, that's okay, because we're just adding mass, just adding a ton of mass. Now, this process is a little on the destructive side. Let's go up to general instead of voice so I can see everybody. Hello! Yay! Good to see everybody. Lieutenant Dan, how are you? Oh yeah, no, I love, yeah, ArtRage is my weapon of choice. We'll just put it that way. Spent a lot of time in it. Do love Photoshop though. I'm kind of glad we're doing this. I'm really excited that Patreon chose to do this today. I not necessarily a break. This is just a really good way to finish the map for me personally. And of course, this map will go online at Avantnovis.com, and the full sized one will go on Patreon. But you can get a copy of it at Avantnovis.com, because we do this together, and I want everybody to have access to it. I'm gonna make a paywall because I need the money. Nope, I just need a little help financially with Photoshop for the license, and that's what I'm getting, and I'm really grateful for that. But I want everybody to have opportunity to get the maps. Hello, people. Hello, the 6 people that just joined the stream while I was uploading my map. Oh, that's awesome. Northern, that is very cool. Can I show that, Northern? Is that okay if I show that? Dude, well done. We're going to march Discord here if... Yes, okay, sweet. Thank you. Let's... Okay, here comes Discord bouncing on the stream. Here's Northern's map. Very nice. Quick Tide Mountains. I love the labeling. Valley, Nicefall Ocean, Sunbridge Sea, Boulderhelm, Writhing Islands. Well done. I like that. Lela Kalela Lands. Nice. Good convention on words. Thank you for letting us share that. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get back into this. Got distracted. Okay. Now, I'm manually using a stylus on this because I can control it a lot better. There's a little part right here I missed. Let's come down here, a little part here I missed. So I don't lose my voice, I'm going to get some water. I used to be a fiend of Diet Dr. Pepper, but I decided I'd need to lose 100 pounds, which I've done. It's really nice to learn. Having trouble with uploading because it's too big. Well, my Photoshop license expired because they don't have Patreon supporters. Oh, Martin, I'm so sorry. You have GIMP and some others. Also, if you'd like to upload it on Discord, that'd be wonderful. Since we have mass here, what we're going to do next is we're going to duplicate this layer. because we want some more mass. We're going to go to blend options because we want these two to stack on each other. Blend options, we're going to blend modes and add on that layer. Wait for it to update. Come down to this layer, hit blend and add. And then we're going to merge layer down. Control Alt down button. Now it's going to take a little time because this map's so big. Yeah, it is expensive. Just a single license is like $20 just for Photoshop itself. And I'm not out to, I'm out to have fun with this. I'm out to just do maps with you guys, but it's been crazy. Okay, so I've activated, we're going to activate our layer on top of this, the layer that is C, and we can see where our mountains are. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to take this tube again, and we're going to shrink this tube down to about, let's go 100. Let's go a little higher, maybe 200. Oh, I'm sorry, Martin. Man, I wish I could help, man. There are some other stuff. There's... except Photoshop's so good. Okay, so we're going to, in our lower layer, we're going to make these little mountain symbols. Okay? Just like that. But let's go ahead and we're going to Control Z these out. And then we are going to add this. And again, this is another fast process. And you'll hear me tapping like this. Actually, let's use the mouse on this so it's all a little more consistent. We're just going to, where the mountains are, we're going to put a raised line of these bumps. And I'll show you why in a second. And again, just fast, quick. We're not worried too much about stuff. That comes later. That comes later. But we want to definitely get where these mountains are. These mountains there. Oh, those are trees. Okay. Let's put mountains on trees. Oh, noes. Derp. Okay, same thing here. Just got to watch out. Make sure I'm not doing trees instead of mountains. Pointies are mountains, Dan. You can do this. Yar, I'm not admitting I've robbed the internet, but I'm not denying that pirate life is good. Hey, we call that Captain Jack Sparrowing. Gonna get demonetized. No, I understand that. I understand that. There's accessibility, and then there's availability, and that's two very important things. With the maps I do it, since I sell maps online, I definitely have to make sure I'm all on the up and up, if that makes any sense. But I definitely get where you're coming from. Okay, we're just adding our mountains here. Just huge globs of paint where we have our mountains. Huge globs. Music hasn't started to play. Yeah, I got to get new music for my intro. That reminds me. It's always the same. I mean, it's free to use, the stuff I have, and I kind of like the tune. But I really need to get something new. Something, I don't know, fun and exciting, or something very Enya-ish. Just kind of chillax, because that's kind of what I like with a stream. You know, just happy mountains everywhere. Just get in the Bob Ross mood. He actually helped teach me to paint. Between him and my grandmother and father. They were big fans of Bob Ross. I am too. See, I think about him, and I get really quiet. Arms is in the chat. Arms, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. We're making a realistic map out of our big fantasy map. And this sucker is gigantic. Right now we're just plopping giant things of paint all over. So we can have some peaks on the mountains. Man, my fingers are getting tired. Clicking like I'm on a real-time strategy game. Brrr. Yep, just getting these mountains. And again, we're trying to get as much mass as possible on the maps. There we go. The chat channel I'm using is on YouTube. Morris, let me write that down. 1 second. Thank you guys. Thanks, Northern. Yeah, we're just using YouTube right now. Okay, let's come over here. Oh, look at the mountains here. Same thing, where there's mountains, we need to put these little squiggles. Now, this place has a lot of mountains, so bear with me, guys. Bear with me. You know, instead of doing this, let's do something let's speed this process up. We're just going to drag. We're just going to drag these up. Except I really need those peaks, but we're going to kind of hustle on these a little faster. I don't want you guys here all day watching me just make little mountain things, but we do have a lot of mountains. Lot of mountains. Oh, don't worry, Kevin. No worry. Just glad you're here. But this map experience, doing this with you guys has been it has been a high point in this, going into fall. And I mean that sincerely. It has been a blast making this map with you guys. Getting all the lore and all the crazy stuff in. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Martin. Hope I'm pronouncing your name like you want it. Just covering mountains, doing some more mountains over here. This is our big blend spot that blended really well in this effect. Okay. Gotta shake out the wrist a little bit. And we're back here. Now this is step one. What we're going to do is we're going to make these high points. Then we're going to add, again, it's my joke. It's hilarious. The reason I loathe it so much, it's glitter. I loathe glitter. Is because I worked as a stagehand for 25 years. And as a stagehand on our dance floors, you'd get these dance companies that would come in and they would be wearing, I can't tell you the amount of times I've had to clean a stage floor with glitter on it. And we're talking not just a little glitter, we're talking like stuff that's been pounded in. You have to take you got to take like a steel wool to it to even get it out. Then you have to repaint your stage. Also, it gets everywhere. It's it's in everything. It gets in electronics. And once it's in electronics, you're hosed. But yeah. It's a Dutch name. Having English means your butcher, and the name is fine. I always just called me Martin because that's easier. Martine? Is that a little better? Lore on Monday. We just kind of finalized how we could do some more lore. Let's talk about. We kind of finalized stuff. Monday's stream was it wasn't my favorite stream. I'll put it that way. I thought I was really distracted, and we didn't develop any new lore. The main lore right now that I'd like to discuss is over in this area. Zoom out here. Over in this area, we have this big empire, and we kind of solidified the effects of that realm. Because after the Ice Age, that was primarily where all the races were, and then they've kind of broken off. In this continent, you had this continent was totally wiped out of life, at least twice. One when the meteors hit about 1,000 years ago. Then the Ice Age came because of all the debris thrown into the atmosphere caused a nuclear winter. After the nuclear winter, the empire formed into the most prosperous and the most stable area of this world. And with that, it rose to prominence, it rose to power, and it started anything that didn't like, it kind of pushed to the sides. Okay. So you had the empire here, and it basically consumed this entire landform right here, all the way to over here. And, you know, it just started spreading. The biggest problem that everybody had, 10 more is this fun sound. Nope, it's lengthening the ahs. If it, Martin, dentist, Martin, Thusan, Martin. I'm trying. I'm trying. Martin. I really like that, though. Cool name, dude. Very cool name. I have two first names, Dan James, but it makes it really easy. I answer to both of them. Also, I answer to dang it, but swearing. Okay, so the Empire. We had the Empire affect everything here, and the unwanteds were pushed to the edges. Now, the Empire down here where I'm working, in an attempt to settle new lands over in this crater area, they sent legions. We're talking thousands and thousands of armies down into this area to conquer it, and they did a good job. They conquered this area, up into this area, and down into this area. They met stiff resistance down here because of the elves that live down here. They're feral and berserkers and barbarians. That's actually what they are in the role-playing game we're working on. Little updates about that later. And they met stiff resistance, and it went on for years. And the Empire finally got really pissed off having to, you know, all this money and time and manpower down here just to fight over just turfs of land. They told the legions, hey, you guys either come back successful or don't come back at all. And that was a massive blow to the discipline. And the legions actually solidified their hold in this desert area. And after that, after a little while, with no support, they had they went from, war to just strictly surviving. Oh, Martin, that is beautiful. Can I show that online? Is that okay if I show that? Dr. V, arms using GIMP for at the moment. That would be guesswork. Yeah. I do love the filters in GIMP. I actually like the filters and some of the brushes better in GIMP than I do in Photoshop. Okay, we got another map to show online. This is from Discord. Here's Discord. This is from Martin. Little Alaska in the peninsula. Wow. Check that out. I can't zoom in. Open original. Let's see if I can zoom in with this. Oh, that is nice. I love your choice on stains. I love the boat. That feels so good. Commonwealth of Uxborough. The Republic of Mori. Beryllith Empire. Well done. Thank you so much for showing that. Match still? Oh, crap's still there. Okay, let's take this guy back and let's get back to our clicking. So much clicking. So wow. Yeah, that's what you guys have come to see. Dynamic clicking. Oh yeah. But it'll get cool. I promise. It'll get really cool here in a few seconds. About 10 minutes. Been going for about a half hour and we've got all this done. I do like to try and get the maps done in an hour to hour and a half-ish. So we're taking a fantasy map and we're making it into a realistic map as quick as we can. And then make that available to everyone for maps for everybody. All right. And I will try and upload the actual ArtRage file. It might be gigantic. We're talking about 500 meg, but I think Patreon can handle it. Okay, we'll get a mountains here real quick. Then we'll start on glitter, because glitter adds so much mass so quickly in this program. It is the herpes of arts and craft. Gets everywhere. Everybody's scared of it, but man, it's fun to make fun of. Hope you guys don't have herpes. That'd suck. Okay, there we go. Just a lot more mass there. Double checking. I think we've completed it. Oh, I want this a little bit better. We can do better on this. We can definitely do better. Okay, let's save this really quick. Save painting as realistic map. Let's sit back and look at chat here. You should do an ASMR channel for behind this. Yes, now we're doing the mountains, and we're clicking left, we're clicking right. I have mono mic because I like the sound of it. Glitter can kick rocks. Yeah, no, it's horrible. It is. Yeah, glitter. But we'll wait for this to save. Yeah, I'm gonna add glitter onto this map, but it's gonna add the mass to it. But we'll wait here. Please don't crash. That would suck. This is gonna take about 2-3 minutes or so. Let's not ASMR reaching on it. Yeah, I won't do ASMR again. That's just jokes, guys. Ugh. Man, that would ruin a hobby of mine. That becomes popular and I'm stuck doing ASMR. Some big guy on the other side. Okay, guys, let's do this. Right, left, right, left. And now we're going to make some happy trees. We're going to make some happy trees over to the right. We're going to make happy trees over to the left. Can you hear it? I never, yeah, the ASMR thing, I never could. Yeah. You know what? Let's close up ArtRage. We don't want to save the changes there. Yep, we have the Wheel of Death. We'll just wait. It'll go. It'll go. We just have to be patient. Just gotta be patient. Yeah, but Bob Ross is Bob Ross. He's not ASMR. He's just, he's just Bob Ross. He's chillax. I could definitely fall asleep to Bob Ross. Got to give people what they want. ArtRage, cartography, SMR. Glitter's equivalent of a nuke. Walking to the store with a tube of glitter and this water call on you. Yeah, that should be. That should be. We had a rule. I worked in a theater for about Roadhouse for about 10 years, and we had this rule that no glitter, absolutely no glitter. And we had Stomp come in, the big Broadway musical. We had Stomp come in, and lo and behold, they had glitter on their drums. And man, nothing I could do about it because it was a presentation show. Come on, ArtRage. We got people waiting. Yeah, no, when I was a little one, my grandma and my dad did a lot of oil painting. And oh, hey, look, it saved. Yay, it saved. And they really put an impression on me about, okay, let's drop this down to 150. And let's go ahead and move this guy here. Bob Ross was, hey, he was my, okay. What we're going to do with the glitter, we are going to go into the settings. We're going to drop the pressure down. We're going to go to the weird lumps. The question mark lumps. And we are just going to come to the mountains and just do a quick pass of this glitter. And I'm talking a quick pass. I mean, not even bothering to wave hello. Just yeah, all over it. Technical term, copyright. And we're going to use this to connect these dots, but we're just going to run just a little bit of glitter, just like that, over these. I'll show you why in a second. Okay, so we have that. We have a nice deep layer. Again, we're just splatting on layers upon layers of paint on here. Literally, if we're doing this live, we're taking the tube and we're just going blah. The reason we're doing glitter is it adds another dimension for the mountains. And if you notice, I'm kind of spreading it down into the valleys. But it makes a nice texture, and it gives us a ratio between, we have extreme mountains, and then the glitter itself will create lower hills. We should call it glitter. We should just call it the hills brush. Yeah, we'll call this the hills glitter. How's that? Oh, that's nothing I expected to happen when you said glitter. Yeah, no worries. Hope that wasn't too big of a disappointment. But yeah, this is the glitter brush right there. Glitter tube. But I found it makes this effect that is absolutely wonderful in ArtRage. Oh, Northern, see ya. Back in 5. I just noticed that. Sorry. I got so wrapped up in the between the glitter and ArtRage being really slow to save. I got a solution for that. If you guys have ArtRage, I have a really fun solution that I'll use back. Actually, I'll do it once we get this glitter down. I'm also running the glitter, like where the rivers are, I'm kind of running it into where the rivers are, and we're going to do that a little bit more here in a second. Right now, I'm just mostly worried about... There we go. Just mostly worried about getting this glitter in and on top of stuff. We're going to use it as a, like I said, we're going to use it as hills here in a second. Because we want to show elevation, and to do that, we're just going to use a mass of paint. Okay. Getting there. Getting close. There's your ASMR. Fight sounds. Pow. Scratching of the brush. Not mad, just disappointed. I can change the color if you want. We can go, no. Oh, crap. I just messed up. I hit Control X. Oh, that was bad of me. I just killed the entire layer. Glad I saved. Let it work. Raging on your map. Yeah, I'm just sitting here just, Okay, I hit Control X. And that was very bad of me. So we're going to wait for ArtRage to not have a stroke. Oh gosh, what have I done? Yes, no, I'm there right now. So I'm just putting the pen down, letting the computer do its work. Not worrying. Also, is everybody in the chat okay? With all the crazy weather and stuff going like that, worried about peeps. My wife does satellite imaging for a company that helps insurance, and also it's an advocate group. And they do satellite imaging, and she's so, with the storms and stuff, she's so overworked, and we got family like down in Florida. So really worried about that. You know what? Happy thoughts. Let's go with happy thoughts as I totally delete my entire thing. While we wait for that, gonna shout out. Uh-oh. It went black. That is not good. But thanks again, to everybody in the stream. Ryan, Disney Reject, Nomad Plains, Pub Master, Northern, when you get back, Tensi, the Aaron Who, and everybody else. We also had someone new join in Patreon. While we wait for this, let me look that up. Let's see. It's right in here, the Netherlands. Oh, you're in the Netherlands. Oh, wow. That is so cool. Thank you. I'm really glad you're here. We also had a new Patreon member. His name is Ralph. I'm not going to read his last name, but Ralph, thank you so much for being a part of this. Let's go back to the map and see what's going on. Gulp. We're at 100% delete. Oh, crap. Now I'm going to have to undo this and wait a little bit longer. We'll come back here. Yeah, we'll come back here so everybody can see the zany Dan. All right, we're at 100%. My hair is crazy today. You can see my crazy little my little office that I'm in. We put up some Christmas lights to kind of make this a little more happy space. Also, with the seasonal changes, I talked with my therapist, and he said, "Yeah, let's get some light. Let's get some more light in the background and stuff like that." Yeah, I'm dying here. I'm actually simply dying here to wait to hit Control Z. Frustrating. Been here, what, 5-10 minutes? Wonder if there's a way you can disable Control Z, Control X. This is painful. Oh, you know what? While we wait for that, I want to show you guys something I'm working on. Google Earth. Let's see if it will load it. Oh, it did load it. Okay, check this action out. So I found a way that I can actually add the maps we do into Google Earth. This is a project I'm working with a guy in England with. But yeah, we can actually move the maps that we do into Google Earth. And once we're done and stuff. Oh my gosh, Dr. V, thank you so much for joining Patreon. Oh, thank you so much. That's really kind of you. I appreciate that. Wait for the program to respond. It'll get there. Man, thank you so much. Thank you. Dr. Z, everybody. Oh, geez. Okay. Wow, I needed that today, apparently. So yeah, found a way to incorporate our maps into Google Earth. Scale-wise, that's really not to scale, but going to do a lot there. Let's see if... You know what? We're just going to close the program. It'd be probably faster. At least we saved. I hope. Otherwise, this is going to be a very awkward stream. Okay, that's not the one. That is not the one we did. Realistic map. There we go. There we go. Yeah, Google Earth. What I wanted to do is to be able to place, like, you know, little things that someone could click on and other things like that. So that's what I'm currently working on, and I wanted to put this on as big as possible on Google Earth. Let's go ahead and go back to... All right, so we're gonna have to get back the glitter. I'm sorry, guys. That's 100% my bad. Let's just do something a little bit different. And, you know, since we're kind of rushing now, and I don't mind rushed, we're going to get our glitter. Let's increase this to about 250. That works. Let's see. Where's my pen? There it is. Again, Dr. V, thank you. Instead of running it, I'm just going to do little squiggles like this with it. Well, maybe not that much. Okay. We'll just hurry up and do this again. But I'm going to run the glitter to where the rivers are to create our... Maybe this is a happy... We'll call this a happy accident. We're running the glitter back and forth to create a texture over the mountains. I think our pressure is a little too high, so let's back our pressure down. There we go. Pressure down. Back and forth on the mountains. So we have high points, we have low points. We're going to call this a happy accident because I think this is going to look better. If you're using different shortcuts, change keyboard commands in ArtRage 4, go to edit, set keyboard setting. Thank you. I will be getting rid of that, sucker. Make it like Control Alt F12 : or something like that. Because that was painful. I guess it's one of my streams if like it detonates. I think that's adequate to say. But I'm just pouring the glitter like crazy now. I'm not even being careful. Where there's mountains, I'm just going back and forth with the glitter. Just so literally pouring the tube onto it. That's helping highlight the mountains and everything else there. Let's lose this layer right here. There we go. Yep, just kind of a dark green glitter on everything. There we go. But yeah, a gentleman from England contacted me, and we're trying to get a way He's doing some really cool stuff. I don't know how much I can talk about, but he's actually making interactive maps where people go from one point to another for like charities and stuff like that. And I'm kind of developing some stuff for him. That's how I got that on Google Maps. I'm really excited to see where it goes. Really excited. I don't know, a 10 key shortcut. Heck yeah, you have to use all your fingers and then hit spacebar with your forehead. That's how we should do it, guys. Yeah, at this point, I'm just throwing glitter. Just going nuts with it. There's a mountain. I'm just going back and forth to create that texture, as you can see. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth there. Come over here. Some more back and forth. If it's mountains, it got glitter. Just add in the mass to it. Now let's kind of add some more down over here because I really like this place. Just back and forth. There we go. There we go. Just all over. Just puking it all over. It is an actual now artist term, puking the glitter. Yeah, just add some height to everything. You know what? Let's just do it all over. Let's just go nuts with the glitter. There we go. Control mash your face on the keyboard. Use the cut layer. All right. So we got a glitter in. Everywhere. I am looking for these little dots because we kind of don't want that, but that's fine. Okay, we got mass everywhere. Maybe just some more down here. We put in a lot of putting. Hey, yeah, putting. We put in a lot of mass everywhere there. There we go. There we go. Now, Dr. V, any of the maps I've ever made for that I've sold on Drive-Thru RPG are available. So have fun with those. It's like a couple $100 worth of maps. Feel free to download those. I'd really appreciate it if you did. Those were good maps. Okay, so we got our glitter. We vomited it. Let's just go over here and kind of make some more mounds. We vomited it everywhere. We're going to go now to our scalpel brush, and we're going to this blur by 1/3. So here's the setting. It's a 3% by a 3%. We're going to get this to about 800, and then we're going to walk this brush, just pushing very lightly anywhere there's the glitter. And this is going to create a very rough, if you notice down here, it creates a very rough but realistic look. And then we're just going to go we're going to go a little bit more on this. So we're just going to trace it out, give it some time to react. This is where the magic happens. It's magical. We're just going to pull this brush very slowly across everything we've done. And that's going to give us our texture. The reason why I put glitter down is so that the texture is consistent everywhere. And it adds a nice little thing. Also, I'm not going to use any templates or stuff. This is directly from ArtRage. ArtRage is expensive. I do keep watch on it because when it goes to like $20, it is definitely worth picking up for any of your tools. Because it is by far one of my most favorite programs. I've actually missed working in it. It's been like months since I had a chance to get into this. Okay, so again, with 3% and 3%, we're just going over where the glitter is. We're going over where the mountains are. Just like that. And that's creating more depth for us. And we definitely want some more depth, and I'll show you what we're going to do here in a second. Just making sure that I'm getting everywhere that I possibly can. All right, there we go. It is a subscription to Patreon, I believe. Once you're there though, I'll do a map like this. Last one I did is to be sold on Patreon for like $30. Well, 20 to $30, but it's free for patrons. Oops. Okay. So we're right here, and let's go ahead and look down there. Oh yeah, no, I get that, arms. That's why I try to make it cheap. I also try to make it worth, posting any of the maps, and in addition to that, 3D models, anything I put online, the Discord. I try to make it worth a constant update of stuff. Okay, we're there. So see how that looks now? Now we're going to do something really cool. We are going to save this again, but instead of, here's this trick to saving on ArtRage. I should have done this. First of all, we go to our canvas setting and turn off the lighting. Okay, so that's right click, canvas setting, turn off the lighting. Then we hide our layers with all the paint on it. And then we're going to go save as, we're going to go backup. And watch how fast this saves. Yeah, there was a glitter puke fest. That was, that's me. That's me putting on all the glitter to this. Okay, you see how fast that saved? Now we're going to go in canvas settings. We're going to turn on the lighting. It's the lighting that makes the save so slow. So if you turn off that and turn off your layers, it actually really is fast. All right, see that? So there's our, this is map we've done, and this is the map we have just made. Very, very snazzy. So let's go ahead and let's up our game here. We are going to, we've saved, and we're going to merge. We're going to put this layer, double check it's on blend mode, that's add. This layer we are going to go with bump mode, and we're going to add this layer. And then we're going to merge this layer down once it gets done. Yeah, we'll get the mountains gray. I'm just doing this for a color. Okay, so what we're going to do next, actually, yeah, we're going to go into our scalpel brush. We're going to come down to this harsh chaos. We're going to put this at 250. And we are going to take this brush, and we are, actually, let's on second thought so you can see it, let's not merge the two layers together. Okay. Give ArtRage some times. Again, this is like 120 inches. So we're, you know, you could decorate the side of your freaking house here. So we're going to take our harsh brush. We're going to go with the default, and we're going to run this. Don't hide the, there we go. We're going to run this through the edges. And you see as I run it, we get realistic mountains just with that harsh chaos brush. And we're just going to run that around the coast and then into where the mountains are, just like that. Just really nice and easy. About 200 feet. We're going to run that up the rivers to create that erosion. And then we're going to get that mountain feel. See how we make peaks and mountains just like that. Just run it up. See the glitter puke fest there? That's fine. We're not worried about that. Again, we're just running this up, and it creates this really nice texture in mountains. See how realistic that looks? Let's turn down the pressure a little bit on this. It's a little high. There we go. There we go. Just kind of Zen moment when this all comes together and it looks nice. If it looks like butt, you're so close, so keep on going. Okay, then we have our realistic mountains. Perfect land for the skinny puppies, our demons, that, well, not really demons, eldritch deities. Yeah, just like that. All adds together happily. And then again, just on the coastlines. I'm kind of going fast. We're an hour into this, and look what we've done. We've already got so much of this done. Big old mountain range there we like. Kind of come down here. Again, I'm just following the coast, and every time I follow the coast, I see a little river, and I'm going to follow that river up. And it creates this mountain form that we want. When I get close to it, I'm just going back and forth to create that texture. Down here, same thing. Up the rivers, along the coast, up the rivers, into the mountains. And I know we had a little country here, and this is going to be kind of cool. Down in here. And again, because we use so much paint, we use so much globs of paint, we're just carving with this brush. Just carving out the mountains. And I'm going into Bob Ross mode now. Just carving the mountains. Let me know if I go too ASMR, because no one's here for that. All right. Yeah, lots of folds. And it's just this basic brush. You just control the pressure with it. You can do it with a stylus or with a mouse. Mouse is fun, but you're getting this kind of realistic look. The key though is pulling it from the coast up into the mountains. Do you see that? If I do it differently, it just doesn't look good. So coast to mountains, coast to mountains, coast to mountains. Now in this area of the world we did, the lore is that this was the empire, and the empire kind of neglected some of its provinces. You see, over in the other side of the map that we'll do next, horrible eldritch demon things bubbled out of the craters that they had been nesting in with their, their spawn and stuff like that. Oh, we need a mountain right there. There we go. There we go. Just make sure we're getting those mountains. Coast in. Always coast in. There's some glitter there. It's making fine little hills there. From the water source in. Okay, let's have a look at that. See? That's getting good. Oh, we didn't do anything up here. We need to fix some of these mountains. So we're just going to go from the lower to the higher. So it doesn't look like giant things of potatoes everywhere. There we go. There we go. All right, a little bit of realistic maps. Now, you can also use your mouse, and when you use your mouse to really refine stuff, you just come up to the mountain. Don't click on it, click to the side of it. Do you see how that's refining the mountains into really sharp features? See that? We'll do that a little bit later. Let's just keep going here. Maybe some here. And if you notice, that's creating height and depth for where we're putting stuff. Southeast, the skinny puppies took over the southeastern part, I guess. You decided you want to add more dramatic piece to existing range. How is that done? Okay, more dynamics. Let's go up into this area. Let's go right here. So we'll start with coming up into these just a little bit from the coast in. Now I'm using my mouse right now because that's going to give me my most dynamic look. And then once I'm near it, I'm just going to take my mouse and click. And that's going to give me a little bit more, or make the brush a little bit smaller. But by using the mouse like that, how's that for dynamic? And then the reason I'm keeping the color here, I can see the height and depth of the mountains. Where it's that gray color is where my mountains are. And then I'm going to come in with a brush. I'll do that right now too. Let's go about 100. And then with the airbrush, it's a little too much. Let's drop the pressure. I will slowly, where the mountains are, create that like that. Only where the high parts are, and that's going to give me a better feel. We'll do this a little later in this process. A little better feel of where things are. Then I'm going to come in with a darker green and pull that color from the mountains down into the valleys for things that are dynamic. That way it blends a little bit. Again, watching my pressure, my opacity and my pressure. Watching those. Okay, now I'm going to come in with kind of a light tan. And I'm just going to brush the hills around these, just going up into the mountains. Just like that. I'm not really worrying if some of this brown goes up into the mountains, because I will come back and I will fix it. The dynamics are made by the color. So let's go back to that gray color. Let's zoom in and let's go ahead and pull this. We're again working on form into shape, and shape will define form. Then we're going to come in with the mountains here, and we're just going to make sure that with a really small brush that we get that blending as such. This is how I make really dynamic mountains. And then I'll come in with a brighter brush, like this white. Then at the very top of where these mountains are, where the caps are, I'll go in and I will do that. Just like that. Just like that. Let's zoom out. See how that looks now? We can also go in and we can work on, we need to work here on the lower areas. Let's increase our brush size a little bit. Give that color a little more dynamic color. An area around it. All right. Hey, Chris, how are you doing? Chris, is that kind of, I hope that answered your question on how to make things a little bit more dynamic. But let's go ahead and come back here and we will start. Right now it looks like a bunch of cottage cheese, but by going from the coast up, that should, there we go. Okay, good. And this is just the process. We go big and then we shape a little. We go big to create the form and the shape. Right now we're definitely working on the shape of the mountains. Form would be the actual two-dimensional, but we're making the shape now of the earth. We're just coming in just like that. Let's get these islands. Man, my poor little islands. Always neglect my islands. And don't be afraid if you guys like, let's say there's a mountain here and you're like, oh, I just ran over the mountain. Don't be afraid of that. You can always add more glitter and stuff to it and it'll look fine. Let's say, this is a little sparse. So let's go repeat the process. Let's get that brown back. Was this brown? Yeah, who cares? There's our stipples. Then we go back to our glitter. We move our glitter. Then we go back to this brush. 3% brush. See, looks just like it. Then we go back to harsh chaos. Put harsh chaos at 25. This process, it adds a lot of, you see? And we have mountains again. Just perfect little mountains down there. That's kind of what we want. Again, we start from the coast, go in. I love the lore behind the skinny puppies. It's hilarious. These cat-like, they look really cute and cuddly, and then they become these horrifying cats that devour devour whole families. Creepy, but cool. Okay, we're up in our crater, so we have to be kind of very careful. We're just going where our craters are. Being very careful, because these are the really cool mountains. I'm excited to do these mountains. There we go. These are where the old ones just boiled out of recently. About 200 years ago, the old ones boiled out of these. They came out of their prisons and their coffin prisons or something, and just devoured anyone in this land that was trying to settle it. And that went on. Oh, I need that mountain right there. Got to be very careful right there. Just have to pay attention a little sometimes. Well, these eldritch beings poured out, and right here in the kingdom, right in here, this kingdom over here fought against them. And they had to put all their resources in it. And with the little cities being vulnerable, there was always this element that had been pushed away from the empire. And they soon became brigands and pirates and stuff like that. They started just harassing the crap out of the edges of the empire. And because the empire, it's kind of like the Chinese Han Dynasty, because they fought against all these eldritch beings that came out to save their land, these areas here, these kind of broke off into their own kingdoms because they had to. So these are kind of our free kingdoms, and that developed about 175 years ago. Once the eldritch ones kind of slowed down coming out, the generals that had fought and died so hard broke away from the empire as well and made these kingdoms into their own. And that, everybody was pissy after that. So the empire kind of folded into itself. Right now, the empire is gathering strength to maybe get some of its regions back. They have some problems. They have the pirate problems. They have these free countries, and they also have these eldritch beings that kind of come out of nowhere. Now, the real big concern is if those generals that kind of went rogue, hopefully they can hold the lines against the eldritch abominations that are in this area. Okay, this area is going to be a little bit difficult. We'll come back to that area. Let's finish up this. Iberia Friday. See on Fridays, maybe. Northern, see on Fridays. Well, excuse me, Ryan. Good to see you. See you this Friday. I will be streaming. What? I don't know. I'll put it on Patreon. You guys decide. Or we might finish this map up. That might be, that might be fun if we finish coloring this map and add... Yeah, let's do that. What do you guys think of that? Is that okay if we finish this map up on Friday? That way we're not really rushing it and we make something really cool. There we go. There we go. Okay, sweet. We'll do that. So I'll kind of slow down here. Make sure we're getting these mountains right. Here's the fjords, guys. These are big fjords with our huge mountains. Going very light with the pen on these. Going very light with the pen because we want to keep that rocky. We might even come back here and rocky this up. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Bum 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 da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Good movie. Sylvester Stallone actually wrote that and got an Oscar for it. I like Sylvester Stallone. I don't care. His big tough guy thing. Yeah, cool. I grew up on those movies. All right, we'll get to this place a little bit later. Let's go ahead and come over here. Following the rivers up, following the sides. Just having a good old time. My best friend just walked into the room. Hey, Gareth, how are you, buddy? My son is my bestest friend. He's awesome. All right, here we go. A little in here, a little in here. We didn't play Destiny together in other games. And also, guys, if you want to play Destiny, I am your Huckleberry. I'd love to play Destiny with anybody here. All right. I haven't had making a crazy insane fantasy based off real world and Asgard maps. We could do a real world map. I did one of those recently. I had it up. It was really cool. I really liked it. And then it was based on where the Danube comes out in Ukraine. And so I didn't feel right. So I took that down because I didn't feel right about, having a country's map. So we could do another place. Okay, see, we got all our mountains in. Looks good. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Well, we have another big task ahead of us, and that's this guy here. Okay, let's turn on our layer above it. Wait a few seconds. We can see where our mountains are. So we're going to start in these areas that pull away from the mountains, and we're just going to guide our pen into where these mountains are. Let's turn this off. I'm not seeing exactly if it's doing what I want. No, it's not doing what I want. Oh my gosh, I hit Control Z. Yeah, we need some more mountains over here. So let's go ahead and do that. Put that there. We need mountains right there. Come back to our brush, do the 3% brush. Come back here, do our harsh chaos brush, but we're going to get the pressure low. So instead of going forward and back, let's zoom in here. We're going to make this about 250 again. We are going to run our brush from the side into our mountains like that. Now this guy over here, same thing. And just running our brush down the mountain, the places where the mountains are. Ideally, we want to go from the lower to the higher, but since that's not, we're going from the lower, we're going to run our brush just like that where those mountains are. Very gently. Very dynamic, very gently. Same thing over here. There we go. Had some mountains there. See, they stealthy little mountains. We'll just make sure that they get seen a little. I believe that's the Blood Home, where all the legions are based off of. This area, the legions basically formed into basically Mongol Romans. Light cavalry, huge legions that are all over the place. Hey, we're down into a happy area here. There we go. There we go. Oh, that was mountains right there. I want to make sure we keep... Oop. See, really light, really light. Otherwise, we ruin the whole effect. Yeah, see right there? I'm not being careful. I have to be more careful. Up here, same thing. Really rocky wastes. So the legions, in order to kind of decide who's in charge, there will be a big fight between two other legions. And once the fight's done, the emperor or the guy in charge, well, it happens once he dies. Everybody gets all, I want to lead. And the two that want to throw their hat in the ring, battle it, duke it out. We need to put some mounts there. Duke it out. Well, I mean, okay, so Northern means, I mean a fantasy map with other worldly stuff based on real world geography and some Asgard stuff. Yeah, we could do that. I think that'd be really fun. We need to add, hold on, let's go in and let's actually move this a little bit smaller. Let's go about 200. We need to put some mountains here. Kind of lost some of that, so let's get that back. Then we go to glitter. Blip, 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 blip. Then we go to our 3% brush. Give us those details. Then we go with our erosion brush, which is harsh chaos. We want this about, I don't know, about 200. We're going to drop the pressure off and we're just going to come in and carve out these mountains up here. There we go. That looks nice. That looks a lot better. Okay, we're down here in the desert area. But yeah, the legions will get together once a Khan dies. And they will, if they want to, then the two legions will fight it out until one's a victor. And then the one that is the loser will integrate into that. Okay, this is going to be fun. I've been waiting to do this. We'll integrate into those clans. Okay, so we are going to push really hard and just come up these rivers as such. See how that shows the basic. Let's actually go a little smaller here. Let's go about 150. 150 with harsh chaos. Do you see that? How it mirrors actual erosion. It's just the shape of the brush. When I came up, I was at church and just chilling and actually quite bored. And I had a little iPad. I had my iPhone and I had ArtRage on it because, it was really cool. And I actually came up with this in church. Heaven help me. And I came up with this and it was that harsh chaos brush that made everything work. Just like this. Oh, I messed up there. Wasn't careful enough. Got to be very careful around that. We'll be very careful. But you can see we're getting our mountains and we're getting our valleys too. Just a nice little happy stuff going on. Just kind of back and forth for the texture, applying this evenly. Oops. That's another fun thing you can do. If you hold down Control with your brush, it'll move it like this. And same thing here. This whole area. This was where the elves, ancient island, broke off from the feral elves, saying that, hey, we can do better than, murdering the crap out of everything. Let's enhance our society. We decided the feral elves down here, we're kind of like a really bad mix between the Maya and the Inca. Mayas were the really sacrificey guys, right? Sacrificey guys. Yeah, that's a technical term now. It's a technical term as long as everybody agrees on it and we know what we're talking about. There we go. Making our mountains there. Let's turn up the... There we go. Make sure we hit the outlines. Running that into the cities. Then we're going to get to the real fun stuff here in a second. There we go. The fun stuff is we're going to really make this pop with some color. But just one thing of color is going to make this. We're going to add some metallic stuff into it. These islands look good. Let's come over here. Yeah, we kind of got these already. Sweet. Okay. So let's double check. Yeah, these guys are still kind of rough. So let's go in here and let's make these a little bit better. I'm just going back and forth and moving paint from the middle up into the island. Well, not the island, but where the mountains are. And then at the very bottom of the mountain, so it doesn't look like these big, I'm just tapering them off as such. Yeah, this guy needs a taper. And this guy gets a taper. See that? Nice little taper there. We need a definite taper on this one. Now I'm circling right now instead of blending, instead of texturing. We got our mountains there. We got our mountains here. There we go. Yeah, the Incans were actually really beautiful civilization until Conquistador got there. Usually I don't like talking bad about people, but man, those guys were dicks. Forgot the leader of the name. Oh well. Poor Montezuma. Alright. Was it the Maya or the... I want to say Aztecs. Maya were the really bloodthirsty ones, I believe. They lived up to the 400s? 400 AD-ish? There we go. Maya's like God so much they would demonetize, and demonetize. Okay, I was thinking of the right ones. Now, as we notice this, we have some cool little mounts here. Let's do something else with these mountains in this area. Let's grab our 3% brush. And we're just going to run that 3% brush over these mountains to give them more peaks. And then we're going to, okay, these need a little bit more help than we're used to. So we're going to grab our eraser. We're going to get 250. Let's actually make that a little smaller. Let's make that about 100. And we're going to run a line in between these mountains like this and create a smaller space. Now this is going to look like butt for a while, but don't worry about it. It'll look good here in a second. Can make a little smaller space where these mountains are. Make sure they're connected and make sure they all look the same. All right. Then we're going to get our harsh chaos. We're going to go with the default harsh chaos because we want this a little chaosy, 200, and we're just going to run this harsh chaos up in between these mountains, up into the areas we erased because we want that more of a definition. See how that looks? That looks a lot better. That's going to get rid of all the little crazy stuff here. There we go. Then we're going to pull our mouse into areas that don't look good. Like right there, and just go back and forth with the mouse. Back and forth down here, back and forth, blend, blend, blend. Circles to blend, back and forth to create texture, and we want texture, so we're going to go back and forth. Kind of make the mountains the same size. Yeah, I got really serious because this wasn't working. You pull the eraser out, I'm serious. All right, see, that looks so much better. All right, so the next step to this is we're going to save again. I love strategy games. I absolutely adore strategy games. We're going to save though. We're going to hide this layer. We're going to save painting. I love strategy games. Big fan of course, Warcraft and StarCraft. That was my high school growing up when those came out. Absolutely blew my mind. Okay, let's bring back our layers. And turn it back on the 3D. Boop. That's looking pretty good. Okay, now let's tie this all together. We're going to choose this color. Well, maybe this color with our, let's turn that sucker up all the way. Yeah, we'll use that color. We're going to turn this up to like 800. We're going to make sure that we have at least 20, it's about 20, between 24 and 26%. So 25%. Now, once I do this color, just watch the texture just boom. Do you guys see that? Again, boom, big old texture going on there. So we're going to use this, and we're going to take this color and we're going to blend it all throughout this mountain, all throughout this area. And with all that ridging we've done and with all that mass we have instant, really realistic topography. Just like that. And it's just because of that little bit of color. And again, this is going to standardize everything we've done. I did need to get pardons. I did need to come over this because it needs to be the same color as everything else. Now we have a little crazy thing right here. We'll get back into. This is also going to show us where we need to dig out some of the mountains and stuff like that. But it is, because we did it this way, it actually looks like rivers and stuff have flown down into the area. I have not played Heart of Iron. What is that, and what's it like? I'm always up for recommendations and stuff like that. I've been on a Baldur's Gate. Well, I've been on a Destiny kick for way too long now. My poor family, have neglected them. No, not really. Oh, we got to fix this down here. Let's go ahead and get down here and fix this. Ew. Looks like Nurgle's been down here. Okay, we'll just do that. Make our mountains a little smaller. Blend it in. Blend that in. Sound effects again, of course. All right. Get our paint there. Cool, very cool. Got our mountains. See how that pulls the texture and the detail that we've done? These mountains need some love. These mountains really need some love. So we're just going to pull that up into it. There it goes. Get away from the the cottage cheese look. Some of them has it though, but that's fine. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. That looks better. All right, same thing down here. Got to make it all the same color. Get that metallic in, then that's going to affect the lighting in ArtRage. There we go. Okay, let's have a look at that. Not too bad, not too bad. Now we're going to do something weird. See right here with this mountain, we are going to take our eraser, going to go to Instant Edge. There we go. And we're going to trace, we're going to cut out all the paint that is near these rivers. As such. That one doesn't need it, but this one does. Then we're going to go back to our Harsh Chaos and pull that up into it, and that creates these cool little river valleys. And then we're going to do that on our other rivers. See, what time is it? It's 12:31. Okay. I'm just going to do this area myself. That way you guys can see how it works. Then over here, same thing with this river. We've got the mountains, but we want the rivers to have a little bit more erosion. Anytime we see lakes and stuff, we'll do that too. these rivers here as well. This is a great time also to fix up your map since we're detailing everything. Man, I made a squiggly line there. That's hilarious. But we want to show that these rivers have eroded the land. So once we've erased that, we come in with our harsh chaos brush. Very lightly just go up it like that. See how we have those cool little hills now? It's also going to cut into the mountains, but it's going to make the mountains flow a lot better. It's going to add just a really nice feel of geography. Then, of course, we're going to blend it together. Then let's get our paint. All right. Then when we zoom out, it really starts looking well. Paradox interesting. Expensive game base and a very expensive DLCs. Yeah, that's my biggest problem. I'm a big fan of Warhammer 40k, and I was playing like Gladius, and to get all the factions, it's like $200, and it's not even. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do one more thing here because I can. Let's hide this layer. Let's turn off the lighting. Let's pick a nice little. Let's go with this color. We are going to add. Right now, right here, for your enjoyment, a frickin' ocean. Then we will turn back the canvas lighting. There we go. But yeah, we have these valleys, we have these plateaus now. It's looking really dynamic. If we were to apply our previous map over the top of it, there we go. That looks cool. I think that looks just splendid. Now, since this map's not done, I'm going to leave the other map, the 4 big continent maps on Avantnovis.com for a while. Yeah, but this is looking good. It's looking good. It'll get there. But do you see how good this looks compared to other places? And once we get paint on this, it'll look even better. It also seems very bland and not fun. DLC is probably HOV is free to play for a limited time, but it does 10 right now. HOV, I'll check that out. I'll actually check that out. Yeah, this is fun, but you know, and then you can, since this is so big, you can like zoom in. Oops, not that one. You can zoom into stuff and like say, hey, this is the canyon of, you know, Bob's Marsh right here and stuff like that, or you know, whatnot. Then you can add some additional details in there. Of course, it's these little details that will take the longest, but they're really fun to do. There you go. This area here is kind of what we're looking for. But it's been about an hour and a half. You want a mountain northern? I will make an entire mountain range named after you. Where do you want it? Do you want it in the Empire, or do you want it where all the meteors hit? We could call this the Northern Range. How's that? All right, this is your range right here. This whole area, the Northern Range. Good to see you, Arm. All right. So that's how we do the shapes. Now, let's say we want to do something even crazier. Okay, check this action out. So we have a river here. We'll erase this, but we're also going to make some runoffs. Let's say this had some runoffs too. And maybe right here, we can take our harsh chaos and kind of make this as well. Travel it up so we get this kind of action. You can actually make mountains with this. But do you see how dynamic that was? Let's come down here and do the same thing here. We'll sign off here in a second, because apparently I need some food. Now it looks like we had a little mishap. Now that's fine. But we're going to make this all craggly. Let's make this craggly too. And heck, let's make this craggly. And we can really shape the land. It seems like it's counterintuitive, but we have so much, the layer that we have currently, it has so much paint in it that when we come back with our harsh chaos, it just settles so well. Let's actually turn that harsh chaos down to about 150. Yeah, there we go. Check that action out. Then we have these cool little hills that have now popped up. And it's created a more dynamic land. You know, it gets into the mountains a little bit. That's fine. We want that. Same thing here. See how it makes these hills and little runoffs? Makes the valleys. We couldn't do that before we had all these mountains and stuff like that. So we have all these valleys and stuff being pulled up. Kind of neat. Don't like this right here, so let's go ahead and fix that. Okay, let's bring in our color. Oh, that is not the color we wanted. Control Z. And we're in there. And see how that makes that? Makes it 3D. Yeah, beautiful river valleys. Did someone say Mesopotamia? That's the word of the day. Okay. So guys, we're looking really good with this. I'm going to go, with your permission, I'm going to go ahead and once I'm off stream, I'm going to fill in all of these river valleys. And that way, next time we can get painting and we can paint these mountains, paint the area, and also we will put all the trees. The trees are the fun part. Well, one of the fun parts. But yeah, we'll do that next time. Yeah, I've run for about an hour and 30 minutes and my voice is going. So don't want that. Just adding some color where I missed it. But yeah, see how dynamic that looks? You know what, let's do something really quick. Let's see, and then we can come in with our airbrush and start just making where the mountains are in these areas. Just really lightly touch them. And then we can put down where our hills are. Like right here, we have these hills and stuff. And again, we'll need to blend this, but that's fine. But we have these hills coming off these mountains. Then we'll just put some green to blend this together, just like that. Then we have these large plateaus. It's really interesting. Blend that together, maybe get a little bit more mountainage. And then down in the river valleys themselves, very lightly, make it a little bit green, especially where they interact with each other. There we go. Just something really fun. Check that action out, folks. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. It has been a pleasure working with you today. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Dr. V is our newest Patreon member. Thank you, Dr. V, so much. I really appreciate it, and thanks for being here. We'll get everything up as soon as possible. I'll keep the maps, the big four square maps on Avantnovis.com because this one's not done and it's too big to put there. So I'll keep those up for another week or two, just so you guys have it since you helped me with this. Had another message just popped in. Yes, Northern, thank you so much for being here. Ryan, Casey Roll. Let's see, Arms, very good to see you. Martin, thank you so much for coming in here. Ryan, Arms, let's see, who else did I miss? Moroni, thank you for being here as well. Nomad of the Plains, Dyspraxis Penguin, Chris, thank you for being here as well. And again, big thanks out to our patrons, Ryan, Disney Disrespect, Doctor, Nomad of the Plains, Northern Nigerian Lion, Tennessee, Aaron, and everybody else for your support for this channel. Thank you. It allows me to do stuff like this for you. And again, always fun making maps with you guys. Friday, we'll finish this map up and put it online. I'll also put up on Patreon what else we should do next week. I think we might do another chat makes the map together, but really get detailed and in depth with that. How does that sound, guys? Is that cool? Let's see if I missed any questions. All right, Dr. V, again, thank you. Thank you for the subscribing to Patreon. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.